Hi guys, Dazlan
Sup?
here.
What's up, guys? Nick here. Welcome to Just
And
Talk TV.
yes, so okay, all of you probably are wondering that we have a different layout today, Nikhil.
Yeah, different
So,
digs.
so we're doing
Casa L.
Casa
Just Talk
and Masa.
TV.
Yeah, Casa e su casa.
Mi casa is
Is
su
su
casa
casa, yeah.
is all you all su casa.
So okay, currently we are at Nikhil's HQ right now, somewhere. Yeah,
Oh,
your
man.
HQ.
Yeah, HQ.
Yeah, it's a pretty good man cave, and it's a pretty good. I like the setup. Hopefully you like the setup as well.
Yeah, much more personalized.
Yeah. We got a personal touch there.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. So Nikhil, you ready to do this podcast?
Let's do it.
Okay, so this is kind of a little bit of a rebranding, right?
Yeah, reboot.
A reboot, yeah, soft reboot.
Soft reboot.
Yes. So okay, Nikhil. So what's our first topic?
Well, recently there's been a huge talk in Liverpool Football Club about which way the midfield search is going to go, with a variety of names that have come out, and everyone's talking about who's going to replace Gini Wijnaldum as he goes into free agency next season.
Oh yeah. I mean, like Wijnaldum's issue with Liverpool and his contract has not been resolved as of yet. I could have sworn that it was put pen on paper. A few medias, like a few months ago, said that Wijnaldum actually signed for Barcelona.
Right.
And also there was another news media in Italy that said that he actually signed for
Juventus.
Inter Milan.
Inter Milan, right?
Yeah, so Juventus is like a very it's stereotypical for them
Yeah.
to. It really looked like a Juventus kind of signing, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
it felt like that.
I could have sworn like Daily Mail, everything, like a legit news sources actually said that Wijnaldum has signed for those two teams, and
One of those two, yeah.
one of those teams, and I've already said it out on the previous episode, and I think Nikhil probably said that it's gonna happen, but in the end of the day, even though we don't know where he's going, but he is going from Liverpool. That's the gist of it. He is leaving, and Liverpool are planning to replace him, for the long term, So I just gonna ask you, do you think Liverpool will look for a long term solution, or will they look for someone that could give them at least 3 years minimum, or could they be desperate and just sign someone that has a few years left? It could go either of those ways.
So you got to realize who we're talking about here. It's Michael
Yeah.
Edwards' team with Jurgen Klopp, and
Yeah.
the way they run their business is always looking for buy young, sell big kind of business model over the years. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah.
That being said, I know Thiago was kind of a mold breaker in that sense. It would definitely be surprising to me if they go for an older player here. I do think they're not going to go for a prospectus player, if that means, if you don't know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a guy already for that, and that's Curtis Jones.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
I think when I asked, I said about like those impact player right now, it's like a Thiago signing.
Right.
He's like going to be 30 already, but they just signed him because just a few years, like a short term thing.
I do, but the problem with that I see is that right now the type of player that Liverpool needs is a very energetic midfielder, and it's a
Yes.
very it needs to be like a sort of combative style of midfielder. I feel
Okay.
creativity is a plus. If you've got defensive abilities, transition abilities, and then you are able to transition that into a attacking ability, I feel like that's the package that Liverpool look for, and those kind of players don't exist, not that I know of, unless you're like going for a guy, say in the mold of Luka Modric or something, that style. But you're gonna need to buy young here, and it definitely needs to be a 3-year project. I feel.
I mean, young and able to play, lah.
Of course, yeah.
We don't need any more prospects and all that. Liverpool has suffered a lot of potentials that did not live up to their potential.
Yeah.
Like Bruno Cheru and something like that. Of recent times, who's the biggest flop right now?
I wouldn't say it's a flop, but I feel like Takumi Minamino was supposed to be that kind of like transition style.
I mean, that's
player.
true, but in his defense, he's not been playing the position he is supposed to be playing.
Yeah.
So okay, that's it is true, but in his
I put Takumi
he has
in
a
that
good defense.
in that range, but Shaqiri, Takumi, Origi, these three guys this season have shown their limitations. I feel
Okay.
Especially Shaqiri and Origi, two guys who have been serviceable guys for about 2 years now, and this year they've just not been there.
Yeah, okay, I understand. Okay, there's a list here that Nikhil has found out. It's going to be from Transfer Market. But okay, right off the bat, before anything,
KT,
for
not
me,
KET.
okay, KT. Transfer.
Market.
Market.
KT,
Yeah.
not KT.
Yeah. So okay, like right off the bat, before I give my opinions or you give your opinions for
Sure.
me, or what I'm gonna read the article say. Before, in my honest opinion right now, for me it all depends on whether Liverpool decides to sell Naby Keita as well.
Right.
I mean, I know he's a different player, but for me, who Liverpool is going to sign highly depends on if they want to keep or sell Naby Keita. But that's a whole different issue, topic for another day.
Yep.
But okay, so let's get right into the topic. So the first player, so who is it, Nikhil?
This one's my favorite. The guy that I am pretty much campaigning for at the moment to come in and step into Gini Wijnaldum's footsteps. His name is Yves Bissouma.
Okay, he's
From
playing
Mali.
from Brighton, right? He's playing
Correct.
for Brighton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brighton, Hove, Albion.
Mali International, right? Yeah, okay.
Mali is a country in Africa.
Yeah. So he's not playing for the Mali youth team. He's like playing for the first
National
Mali
team.
National team.
Yep.
So his position is what? He's playing in the centralized midfield.
Well, the thing about it is for Brighton, he plays a multiple midfield role, which is pretty much anywhere from central defensive to
Yes.
if you need him to play a more advanced role, he can do that as well. What I like about him is that either position that he can play, he's always that guy who's gonna win the ball back, and I love how he wins the ball back. Like he wins the ball from very very awkward positions.
Okay.
Like you can see that you think a midfielder is beating him at least 2 steps ahead, and he's always reaching from the back to pick the ball off.
Okay. Okay.
And I feel like that's the thing that's really impressive to me about his skill set.
All right. All right.
Also, attacking wise, he's pretty serviceable. I wouldn't say he's like better than the other guys on this list, but he's a serviceable guy going forward, and he plays for a very tactically flexible manager in Graham Potter.
Yeah, Graham Potter is like one of those new age kind of Premier League players, manager, and Brighton is actually quite comfortable. I mean, they are in danger of relegation, but not that much. It's safe to say that they're kind of safe from the relegation.
You know, the funny thing
Yeah.
about it is I have no idea what's happening with this relegation race.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean,
every week it's a new person
I mean,
who's fighting them to like keep them in there.
but I mean, like this guy is key for me. If you ask me, he's very key for making Brighton still a Premier League team week year in year out. You know, I mean, he is going to be very important for Brighton to if they want to go to the next level in the Premier League race. You know.
I agree, but at the same time, I think you need to realize what Brighton need. I do believe that Brighton's style is to sell big. If they get a good
Yes.
offer, I
mean,
think they'll be looking to sell this
the-
player.
There is no doubt in my mind that teams like Brighton, Burnley, and all that, they've actually taken influence with how Ake was sold from Bournemouth to Man City for like 40 to almost 50 million, I guess.
Yeah.
There is no doubt that that's another path of revenue for these teams. You know,
Yep.
they would like to groom a player to make them like perform for 1 or 2 seasons and then sell them on a high. I mean, essentially, like Liverpool was lucky in that sense, quite a number of times the past decade. Okay, so let's read what the transfer market have to say about this fella. How do you say his name?
Yves Bissouma.
Yves Bissouma. Okay, Yves Bissouma possesses trait that Liverpool has been lacking in a midfield for a while. Bissouma has the conditions to be a dominant midfielder who uses physicality to break lines and protect the ball. You know, right, like that. You know, that really sounds like what Naby Keita is supposed to be.
I think
in
more
a
than
way.
that.
And,
I think
mean,
it sounds
even
like,
Wijnaldum, especially, yeah.
yeah, it sounds like Wijnaldum.
So okay, from
For me.
my view, it's already like a 2-in-1. Imagine if he can be what Keita is supposed to be, and more some, you know, like he can offer more, like
Yep.
a direct replacement for Gini Wijnaldum. Okay, so continue. To protect the ball. Okay, his passing rate is also very good, and he's not afraid to shoot from outside the box. Okay, that you already have Curtis Jones for that, and if we have Bissouma to do that, that's just gonna be crazy in terms of that. And you know what? Just from that two lines, this guy is gonna complement Thiago and Henderson, in my opinion. He's gonna really complement those two players in midfield. Okay, important figure at Brighton's team. Okay, that's understandable. Who has found a tactical discipline and consistency. An extremely well-grounded player with great technique whilst having the ability to cover a lot of ground quickly. So, okay. I don't know, like a Patrick Vieira kind of position.
I feel like
Or a young Yaya Toure.
there's a lot of comparisons to Yaya Toure going
Yeah.
around. I do feel he's more, how do I say, he's more defensive than Yaya Toure.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel he shields the ball
I mean-
very well.
Mind you, that's why I said young Yaya Toure.
Yeah.
You gotta say, like, Yaya Toure at Barcelona was pretty Vieira-like, like only when he went to Man City he became attacking for some reason.
I do think Bissouma is kind of in this class of new age midfielder that hasn't really been around before.
Okay.
Because the importance now has come to winning the ball back. Which I think is really
if
important.
you think about it, a guy that that is ball winning and then ends up being attacking, that's not really in the year 2003 2004. That's not really that unheard of. That's unheard of.
Yeah, pretty
This
much.
kind of hybrid players.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of player is very much part of the evolution of the pressing game.
Yeah.
And I feel with Liverpool, what we've lost recently is the pressing element from the midfield with Henderson going down.
I mean, honestly, it does make sense that Bissouma is like this because Graham Potter is a very new age manager.
Correct, yes.
So yeah, I mean, pretty good.
I think Yves is the best candidate out of all these guys.
Okay.
I like him personally. I think because when I watch him play, I feel you got to watch the video with him because a lot of his tackles and stuff is like, whoa, where did that come from? It's like from the back. The guy will look like he's lost a 50-50 and comes out with the ball like more than once.
Yeah, and he's not injury prone. He's played over 30 games already this
Yeah.
season.
This season he's not been. Last season he had some injury concerns.
Touch wood, okay. So hopefully
Yeah.
he's not going to be one of those guys.
The last thing we need is another injury-prone guy.
We don't need another Nabikita.
Nah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
I feel bad about Nabiketa, but
So okay, his market value, as it says here, it's between 15 to 30 million. I have seen reports that they are willing to offer 40 million. They have not put in an offer as of yet, but conservatively, I think 40 million should be okay. Honestly, 15 to 30 million for me is unrealistic. It's kind of cheap,
the thing about it is you got to realize that
but it is pounds. But
yeah.
nah, it's still cheap.
it's a Premier League player.
Yes.
So
A proven Premier
from
League
proven
player.
Premier League player, like
Yes.
you're not gonna get that kind of player.
And it's Liverpool.
And it's
A
Liverpool.
lower team that's going to sell to Liverpool will always mark up the price.
Of course.
Always.
The funny thing about it is we were very much going in for Ben White a while back, and
Yep.
with the whole Konate thing that's happened recently, Brighton maybe looking at Bissouma going on the age of 25. This is probably going to be the highest value that he's ever going to present for them.
And his contract is not expiring anytime soon, so they have the liberty to sell him on a high.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are not desperate to like sell him,
My biggest concern is that if Liverpool don't act fast on this kind of player, I have this feeling that Arsenal are very interested.
You see Arsenal, but yeah, okay, that's true.
Arsenal, I think, depending on who Tottenham's new manager will be, that might be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think United have been sniffing around this player, but they've got to offload some midfielders first if they want to get him. So
Yeah.
yeah, Liverpool. I think you'll see Liverpool, Everton, Arsenal, these teams fighting for this kind of player.
Yeah. That's not even going to talk about like Germany and all that. Those teams really, they might need him.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich, like there's been talks that they want Thiago back. They really miss Thiago.
They want apparently
So-
they're linked to Gini as well. So,
Yeah. So hey, who know? Maybe this guy is linked to that as well. It makes sense.
Yeah, definitely makes sense.
Yeah. So okay, a nice guy. Who is it, Nikhil?
So the other guy who's been linked to Liverpool to replace Gini, and this one actually it was on and then it was off for like a year.
Okay.
Now it's come
yeah,
back.
Yeah, yeah. I remember he was linked to Liverpool in 2018 before the World
Yeah.
Cup or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but that time he was still a potential. He has not played a full season as of yet. So people were like, do you really need him that time? But then now, yeah, definitely he's already a starter, regular starter for like 3 seasons already. So, okay, continue.
I think you're seeing now that the guy that we're talking about, Florian Neuhaus. Florian
Well,
Neuhaus.
you just took a German class, so
I took it a beginner
yeah.
trial German class.
Yes, he has more German knowledge than me.
Yeah.
Florian Neuhaus.
Neuhaus, yeah.
Yes, I don't.
From
Sorry if
Borussia
we butchered his name. Yeah.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Sorry we butchered that the club's name as well.
I definitely didn't butcher that name because I know what that name sounds like. So
Okay, all right, okay.
yeah, so Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Which is a Champions League team now, safe to say.
Right.
They're definitely a top 6 in Germany.
In the Bundesliga.
Yeah, Bundesliga. Yeah. So essentially, they are the Spurs of Bundesliga, if you ask me. So sorry, continue.
I don't know if we can make that comparison, but
Okay.
you know, again, this is a team that has recently come into more fruition in Europe.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, Neuhaus is a guy who is rather new, and he's part of this new age Germany movement.
I mean,
that
his
you
name
can
is
see.
already Neuhaus, you know. So yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm
new
talking
age
about the
team.
national team because, as you know, this will be the last Europe tournament for the current manager Joachim Löw.
Yes,
in
and
Germany.
the German manager is going to be the Bayern Munich guy,
Hansi
Flick.
Well, it hasn't been fully decided yet.
But he already quit.
He quit.
So
he
he
quit
already
Munich,
resigned, yeah.
but it's not been decided whether he'll be the Germany manager.
I mean, that would have been that would really suck if he did not be appointed by Germany, right?
I honestly don't know if his interest is. I mean, maybe his interest is that, but I heard that there's a lot of question marks around that appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe once the confirmation comes out, like it'll be more secure.
But then Hansi Flick is the assistant for the
Joachim
national
Löw?
team, yeah.
Again,
So-
assistant and coach, two different
I
things.
mean, okay.
Like it's harder to confirm that.
Okay, so anyway, we talk about the new house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Neuhaus, if you know the Mönchengladbach manager, Rose, who is going to be Dortmund's manager next season, pretty much you understand that their team is a very gritty team, and Neuhaus is the kind of guy who, pretty much is almost, I would say, very much like a Gini mold kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get a lot of the same feeling with Gini, and how Gini's played for Liverpool. He contributes defensively, he contributes offensively. You know, he's a fantastic passing guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I like my passes.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a very savant taste
Okay,
for
so
passing.
is he the type that pass forwards or backwards?
Forwards.
Forwards.
He's
So
very
he's going to
much
complement he's going to complement Henderson
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like with him, you're gonna get a lot of risk with the passing,
Mm-hmm.
like risk taking. Like brave,
Yes.
going forth, picking up a pass and throwing it into the open areas, and
So okay, I out of all of the reports I've seen about him, everyone has been talking about his passing, and passes. They don't really talk anything else other than the fact that he pass. So like,
How does the fact that he pass?
I mean, like, I just want to know, does he have any other secondary skill like attacking, dribbling, or can he bring more? Obviously, passing is good. I'm not saying that just because he can pass, he's not good enough. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, is there anything else he can give? Because Gini Wijnaldum, he has a lot of things in his pocket, So
you're talking about the infamous goal scoring
Yes.
ability that he has.
you know that like he can become an attacking midfielder if need to be,
Well,
So
I just
how
want
is
to
his attacking prowess?
Yeah. Again, and I don't wanna like bang the drum here on this, but if you're talking about a player like Neuhaus, he's pretty much a new German hopeful
Mm-hmm.
in this sense that he will add more to your engine room.
I mean, okay,
Then-
I do see. I saw an article. I don't know the name of the article. If I find it, I'll link it down below. that they actually compared this guy to Sebastian Deisler.
Right.
Yes, Sebastian Deisler is a guy that retired very young,
Yeah.
age 26. So like
Fantastic talent back in the
fantastic,
day. Yeah.
So this guy is a playmaker. There's no doubt he is a playmaker. It's just a sense of if is he an attacking playmaker. So
I think the good news about Florian is you're not going to get a lot of goals, but you're going to see a lot of
assists at least, right?
You're going to see
Or-
assists.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see assists. You're going to see box to box.
Yes.
You're going to see a lot of interchanging.
You know what? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Interchanging.
Yeah, a lot of interchanging passes. You know, the kind of thing that you can really thrive on from deep from like close win the midfield. The thing I like about him a lot is even though he's not a scoring kind of guy, he's very much. When we put the ball in the box, he'll know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Like he'll know how to make it work and how we open up defenses. And I think he might not, like I said, he'll be versatile. He'll go both ways, attack, defense. But he's not going to be like a guy who's going to sit in deep and wait for the strikers to make the run.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to get involved and build combos.
Yes.
Something I think Liverpool's been missing for a bit.
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah. Especially now in recent times.
Yeah.
Okay, the thing I like about him is that obviously right now it can be argued that Liverpool's front three is actually found out, if you know what I mean. In a way, they are having a dry spell.
The way I say it is Liverpool's front three is spent at the moment.
Yeah, despite Salah being the top scorer.
Yeah.
So okay, other than that,
I mean, the front three has issues, but I don't credit Salah for those issues.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, and okay, mind you, let's ignore Jota right now because obviously Jota is fresh to the table for the front
Yeah.
three. Okay, let's say that this guy could be a very big help with his prowess, with his tactical mind. Open play and interplay is going to be a very big role for, especially for Minions and your dynamic wingers in Salah and Mane. So okay, it's going to be a pretty interesting shout out. I do
I-
like him a lot. There's no doubts.
I like Florian, but
Yeah.
the only reason why I don't have him above Bissouma is I feel like he's not enough of a ball winner,
Okay.
and that's something that Liverpool need. If you're talking about a pure footballer that I can enjoy and look at and marvel for his ability to build up play, and I'm not saying Florian cannot defend. I'm just saying that it may be for him it's a bit more different than just defending, in the sense that his rate of winning the ball back is not perceptionally high. I feel Bissouma is more of that kind of player.
Okay. Yeah.
And again,
And obviously Bissouma is a Premier League tested player.
yeah. Well, there's that.
Yes. So
Because
okay.
remember, Keita is pretty much similar tags to this guy
Yeah.
when he came in. So
Okay. The market value as to this article says that he's gonna be around 25 million pounds. So maybe German players buying a player from Germany tends to be on the cheaper side. I don't know why. It just is. So okay. I don't know about you. You think that's a justice for justified
25
price?
million seems like pretty cheap.
That's pretty cheap, especially now.
I do feel that.
But is it realistic though?
I mean, here's the main problem with it. It's realistic only because if no one's interested in him, I think you can get that.
Yeah.
The main thing I see here is
How old is he? Can you just look at his age?
20. If I'm not mistaken, he is about 24. 24. He's 24 years old.
24.
Yeah.
Okay, 1997.
He's 24 years old. Yeah.
I mean, okay. That a lot of teams are probably going to be looking at him, at that age.
Because here's the thing about German players, they usually don't move outside of
Germany.
Dortmund or Munich. So
Hey, like just now, as I said, that Bayern Munich wanted to replace Thiago, and they're looking at Gini. Who's to say that they're not going to look at this guy?
possible, very possible.
Yeah.
I do think that another team you need to look out for is probably Dortmund, because they have
Yes.
they're usually or Leipzig, one of those two.
Yeah. Dortmund with Claudio Reyna playing in the attacking midfield, you need this guy, especially behind him.
It would, yeah,
That
it would
would
make sense.
literally interplay with Haaland, but Who knows how long
Yeah.
Haaland will be in Dortmund? We don't know. That's another topic, but that's mainly on his agent, not really on him.
I think if Liverpool have the chance to get Neuhaus, they should go and do it. But
Yeah.
like I said, if
For the
it's-
price.
if it comes down to if I want to get Bissouma or Neuhaus, I get Bissouma only because I feel we already have Thiago
Yeah.
and Fabinho likes to play forward passes as well, and I feel like Bissouma kind of like gives us that combative edge in midfield.
Mind you that Jurgen Klopp does not really sign from the Bundesliga.
And we have Curtis Jones.
Yeah, I mean, like when you like Curtis, I mean, Jurgen Klopp does not sign a lot of players from the Bundesliga. You know, Thiago happened like once in a
Random.
blue moon. Firmino was not a Jurgen Klopp signing. That was a Brendan Rodgers signing.
Yeah.
I
I mean, it only makes sense he's bought Premier League players. And
Yeah, because
quite frankly,
he wants a direct football like
Yeah.
on the spot right now. You know,
that they know how to play in
Yeah.
this league. That's why.
I think like Jurgen Klopp has a lot of potential in his academy already. He does not need to like buy other players.
Again, I
For
feel.
potential.
I mean, if you ask me,
Hot
like
prospects.
with some of the candidates that we're going to see, I can argue that if the right player is there, they'll always do it. Like remember when Keita became available, they went for it.
Yeah.
So it's not like he doesn't buy Bundesliga players or German players. I think he just probably needs to see a need and fit a need
Yeah, okay, I
in the
understand.
squad, and I feel that's how he does it.
So, okay, all right, another one. Okay, this one is very interesting. This is a lot costly compared to the last previous two. This guy is obviously a league contender.
Obviously,
Yes. So it's you pronounce his name.
Yuri Thielmans.
Yes, Yuri Thielmann.
From Leicester City.
This guy is very quality, very quality.
Yeah.
I mean,
What I mean,
this guy is the reason why Leicester is still a top.
again,
a top
argue.
team after
I
winning.
argue that Leicester is a good team
Other than Vardy, okay.
because they've got a stable striker,
Yes.
stable back line this season,
Yes.
and their midfield is chocked with all sorts of talent.
Yes.
Like he's one of them, but you got to remember Harvey Barnes, Dennis Praet,
James Madison.
James Madison.
Yes.
You know, amongst others, and then their midfield, central defense is Mendy. Who's the other guy? There's one more guy in there. right?
The Turkish guy Yochonju.
Soyuncu.
Soyuncu,
Soyuncu's a
yes.
centre back. Yeah,
Yep.
he's good. Fofana, who you like,
Yes.
you know,
Fofana. Yes.
and yeah,
It's a pretty good squad.
it's
Yeah.
overall a good squad. But yes, I think Tielemans is one of the guys that adds the quality to the squad.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you looked at the event at the beginning when I saw this, Yuri Thielmans was a guy who was touted to be like the next big midfielder in Europe
Yeah.
at one point when he played for Anderlecht. And then something happened, and he pretty much committed his future to Leicester
Yeah. I mean,
after a while.
it's not like as though Leicester is a bad side, a bottom table side. I mean, they're really like going for the top three right now, and it's safe to say they're still in it. You know. Okay, so Yuri Thielmann right off the bat,
And Didi,
NDD, yes,
Ndidi.
NDD.
that's the guy who was the
Yes,
defensive midfielder
yes,
who
yes.
makes that squad good. Okay, sorry, continue.
Yes. Okay, this guy is not a defensive midfield per se. Like you say, NDD is the guy that's playing that more. But this guy definitely is a powerhouse. He holds the ball, there's no doubts. And he does manage to score and assist as well.
Look, man,
In like, yeah,
if you're talking about a midfielder with
he's a powerhouse. No doubts.
intelligence and
Yes.
physical
Yes.
ability, technically gifted,
Not only that, I
Yeah.
think leadership-wise, he's pretty good. Like he has a presence in the midfield.
he does, yeah.
He can be a very good second in command to Henderson, especially in midfield.
I hesitate to say that because, as you know, there's Curtis Jones and Trent.
Yes.
But let's
Yeah.
talk about Yuri Thielmans, in the sense that Yuri Thielmans is a very different kind of player compared to the others on the list, because I feel like Yuri Thielmans is pretty much your all-rounder.
Yeah, in a way.
So he's not focused on defense so much, but he'll control the tempo of the
Yes.
midfield.
I mean, there was at one point that he was playing wide as well. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah.
He does give me that generational talented kind of midfield vibe.
You know what?
You know?
This guy makes a very good replacement for Milner as well.
Mm.
I mean, that's another topic, but just a shout out lah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. But the problem, the thing about it is that he's, by the way, this season, so far, 8 goals, 5 assists.
Yes. That's
That
pretty
is
good.
impressive.
And he's not an all out and out attacking midfielder, yeah?
He's
Just
not.
keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a double pivot.
Yeah.
He's a double pivot. He plays deeper. And that's crazy. That's
There's still a few matches left. He could very well go for the double digits.
He could
Yeah.
make it up to 10.
Yeah.
But I think that Yuri Thielmans is also this guy that you can build a midfield around a guy like Yuri Thielmans.
Mhm.
And I say that with the understanding that people often don't see it that way. Like they don't look at him and go, that's a top 4 talent or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel that he often gets dismissed. But he's very much got the talent to be playing for Man City,
yeah, yeah. That's
playing for
true.
Liverpool, playing
Yes.
for Chelsea if he
Yes,
wants to.
Yes.
You know, I give very few midfielders credit in the sphere of outside of the top 6. But Yuri Thielmans is definitely one of these guys who is definitely a player who is like, for me, if he moves to a bigger club, he'd shine.
Yeah, yeah.
That being said, I will say this:
Okay.
him playing at Leicester right now is really good for his career.
Yes. Because it's not like as though Leicester has straight away dropped to a bottom league side.
They're going to
after
make the
winning
Champions
it.
League. this
Yeah,
season.
yeah. They've been, even last season they could have made it, you know. It's just a few matches, bad luck.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember last season he got injured for a few games. Not injured,
Yeah.
he didn't play, and
Yeah.
then those were the matches that
They fell out of,
Yeah, yeah, they fell out, and that was almost a direct reason as to why they did not go to the Champions League, lah. But well, not a direct; it's an indirect reason, lah.
Yeah.
So okay, this one is a bit unlikely, in my opinion.
I also think it's been unlikely.
It all depends first on the price. The market value based on this article is 49 million. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be at least 55, if you ask me. And number 2 is if Leicester is willing to even sell him or not.
I think 50 million is a good offer, but Leicester won't sell only because
Yeah.
he's their pivot.
Yes, it's
Like-
based on if Leicester wants to sell.
It's pretty much you see, here's what I think, right? Leicester's the kind of club they'll sell James Maddison before they sell
Yeah.
that
I mean,
central
it's
midfielder.
easy to find a James Maddison replacement, but
Yeah.
a Tieleman replacement, oh no.
Very
No,
unlikely.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why it's unlikely. But I would like to say that if Liverpool want to look into solidifying this midfield, this is a player who you should look at getting because he's that good. And
Yeah.
I feel he's overlooked by a lot of Premier League tops, mainly because you got your Pogbas and your this and that. But I argue with the way Liverpool is set up, Tielemans is the kind of player that can fit in very quickly and can provide more value for the team.
I mean,
So-
yeah, that's true.
But again, 50 million, like
I don't know, man. He's gonna be the most unlikely in this list. So okay, next on. Okay, this guy is a pretty good shout out. He's very young. I think we actually talked about him before when he was a young lad, teenage guy.
man, I talk about this guy every
yeah.
freaking year. I feel.
Houssem Anwar.
Houssem Aouar.
This
Okay,
guy is
I
a direct
butchered his name.
replacement for Naby Fekir. He's a direct replacement for Naby Fekir when he left to Betis, right? Naby Fekir.
Yeah, Betis.
Yeah. So okay, this guy is highly talented midfielder.
I don't think he was a direct replacement, by the way. I think he was more like he was already coming up. Like he was already getting his midfield place. There was a lot of talk about this guy being better than Nabil Fekir, which is why they were willing to move on from Nabil Fekir that season. But when you look at him, he basically has carved his own position. So he's not a replacement. That's what I'm trying to say. He's much more his own skill set, his own type of player.
Okay, that's true. He plays for France, right? Just like Naby Fekir.
Yep.
Okay, a highly talented midfielder who has been rumored with moves away from Lyon over the past 2 years, which is understandable. Lyon in a way has become a feeder club or recent times in a way for other teams in the Premier League or even in Germany and all that.
Yep.
Okay, the Frenchman excels in dribbling and close control, has a very close control, and can also pick up a pass and find the back of the net. So right out the bat from there, he's actually a pretty attacking midfielder, like a number 10 and all that. Even Coutinho in a sense. So.
If I was gonna compare Houssem Noir's ability to someone, it'd be David Silva.
Okay, yes.
He's
David Silva
very much
from-
like
yeah.
that.
Okay, yeah. So a key part of Lyon's squad for the past 3 seasons, and there's no denying that Neuhaus' creativity, talent, and is certainly something Liverpool can look into. The Reds would face a lot of competition for his signature with the likes of Man City, Arsenal, Juventus, and Real Madrid. I might as well just put Barcelona in there also as well. So yeah, I mean
Yeah. There's no secret that Arsenal were very close to signing him the previous summer. He was very close to a move to Arsenal. He has been quietly linked with Man City. He's been quietly linked with Liverpool and Real Madrid and Juventus as well. So there's a lot of teams he's linked with. And again, me comparing him to David Silva, right, is the biggest compliment I can give him because holy crap, this guy is a freaking good player.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just great. The ball
Yeah,
at his feet.
It's very, very
You know,
good.
there's some guys that like pretty much extend positional
Mhm.
football. You know,
Yeah.
like he can play midfield, deep midfield,
Okay,
high
the
midfield.
thing
You
is,
wanna play him behind the striker.
how
he
is his
did that too.
defensive game or holding game? in a way?
It's improved.
improved,
Based on what I saw, the beginning of this season, he's very much more of a defensive player recently than he has been in his entire career.
No, that's true. I'm sorry. I could be a little nitpicky based on that because obviously, if he's playing, Liverpool are not going to depend on him to become a defensive midfield. Liverpool already has Henderson and Thiago in a way. So you know what? Sorry about that.
No, it's
But
not.
it's-
No. I mean, you're not wrong
yeah.
because Liverpool play a team press game,
Yeah.
so everyone presses. Everyone
Yeah.
has to defend. This is not a.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there, and I feel like
But I'm just saying that Liverpool can make do without him, like in a way, in a sense.
in a
They
sense-
need him more for his attacking side more. I mean, it's balanced like that way. That's why I like Klopp a
So
lot.
my way of thinking about that is, the best way for you to defend is not give the opponent the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And too often Liverpool play misplaced passes and lose the ball in awkward positions, and sometimes like when a very overly physical midfielder comes, you can see that guys like Thiago sometimes struggle to hang on to the ball, or a mistake is made here or there.
Mm-hmm.
This season's been a big talking point. So for me, I feel if you have a guy like Houssem Aouar, I feel like you get a player who can keep the ball for you. Well, number one, number two, he can make that box work.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can build the play from the box. He's good at taking a shot. He's a very good dribbler. So all these things works in his favor, especially considering that Liverpool have been very wasteful when it comes to playing in and around the box in the opposition half, and that's where you need to make a chance, and that's where he comes in, and that's the style of it that I would say that but yeah, like you said, because Liverpool press,
Yeah.
maybe not like a direct fit, maybe.
Not, yeah. Okay. Not that. But Liverpool really needs him more on his attacking side, especially with the front three's dry spell, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Liverpool has not gotten. They did not have a truly goal-scoring attacker for a while. I remember at
since
one
Coutinho.
point, I remember at one point, Alex Chamberlain was their top
Ox,
scoring.
yeah.
Yeah, Ox was like their top scoring player, midfielder out of the top front three. So I think he's gonna be very fresh. Liverpool may need him more on his attacking side. But okay. The price here is listed as 45 million. I have no issues with that. Maybe even more. But with teams like Man City, Arsenal, and Real Madrid, let's just say Barcelona, I I think it's going to be more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest problem with this move, isn't it? I mean, it could be 45.
Yep.
It could be 40.
It could be, yeah.
Honestly, it could be either of these, but the biggest issue.
He just signed a contract like a few years ago. His contract is not expiring anytime soon.
Yeah, and the biggest obstacle, I think, to any of these clubs getting this deal done is Lyon.
Mm-hmm.
Lyon's owner is a notoriously difficult guy to negotiate with, and there's been a lot of question marks on whether that this guy, can ever get out of Lyon.
Yeah.
But I feel like Arsenal nearly got something done. I think if Liverpool pick up from there and try and push, I think they can get this.
With Michael Edwards, maybe, who knows?
I think look, honestly, in my opinion, it's Yves, Bissouma, this guy, then Florian, Neuhaus.
Yeah. Okay.
These are the guys that I want. So
Tielemans is not even.
Tielemans.
No Tielemans.
I respect Tielemans.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
the price.
We're not writing him off. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
it's the pricing.
the situation, and
Yeah.
no, it's not happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
So okay, I'll continue with the next price. The price, I have no issue. Okay.
Well, that's pretty much the list, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Curtis Jones is the guy who we talked about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to weigh in on Curtis a bit. He's played a lot of games this season,
Yes.
and
He's proven Premier League. He's a Premier League quality lad right now. No doubts about that.
I honestly feel he is.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, I knew Curtis was gonna be in this squad from last season when I saw him, and I just looked at him and these are the players, right, that I looked at. And last season, I like to call these three players the golden three that Liverpool had last season. It was Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, and Rhian Brewster.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt these three were decent players, and I felt these three were very hyped up by everyone. Okay, and I felt that everyone wanted these three to be in the first squad, right? And when I looked at Curtis Jones, I immediately said, "That's it. He's in.
Yeah.
He's in."
He's a young lad. He's from Liverpool, no doubts.
Yeah.
He has a Scouse set and all, and he has a pretty good kick outside the box.
He does.
It kind of reminds me of Steven Gerrard of old, the old 2000 to 2004 Steven Gerrard.
Man, nobody's ever gonna have that cannon or a right foot, man.
Yeah. But
that right foot is a miracle.
He's kind of
from
long
Stevie.
balls out of the box shot. He's not on the power. It's more on the curve.
Curves, yeah.
Oh, that's
He's got
great.
that,
He
yeah.
can bend it like Beckham,
Yeah, he can definitely do that.
Free kick, him and Trent. Oh, that's pretty good.
What I like about Curtis Jones, and something that I've seen that he's done very well, is his close ball control in tight spaces. So when he's being covered by two guys or whatever, he plays a 1-2 very naturally. He doesn't lose the ball, like that easily.
His crosses and lobs are pretty legit.
Yeah. Of course, he's still I wouldn't say he's 100% untouchable with the ball, because there's people.
Yes.
But for a young player,
that's more an experience issue for me.
Yeah.
Just give him more game time, more mistakes to make. Okay. Hopefully it's not a costly mistake, but okay, with mistake over time, I think ability-wise, there's no doubts with him.
Yeah, same here.
It's only an issue about injury lah. Let's touch wood. No
I
injury.
feel like injury is a thing that anyone can get, but again, bar all that, he's 20. He plays box to box. He's got flair. He can play the ball in the close swing zones. The only thing really I think missing from his game is a versatile defensive game.
Yes.
That comes with experience. So it's not something that you're going to be able to build overnight. And there's more things he can do, of course. And I think he's a really good young player. The other two guys I saw was Harvey Elliott and Rhian Brewster. And with Harvey Elliott, I looked at him and I went, he's a talented kid, but probably needs to go out on loan.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I mean, he's really winning it at Blackburn right now.
yeah,
So
I think he'll come back a much more physical player, and I think next season, I hope he gets more time to play.
Yeah.
In Liverpool, this season he's already up for the Young Player of the Year award.
Yeah.
So clearly there's something
the
good there.
Championship is a very good league for you to groom yourself.
Yeah.
There's no doubts about that.
I agree. I mean, from what I'm seeing so far, he's good. But again, with Liverpool, I always know one thing: if Liverpool FC loan a player, there's a 70% chance they don't come back and start games.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna be in the first team.
I mean,
lineup.
Origi is the only guy that has been loaned out and came back. But even
Yeah.
then, he didn't play first team.
I mean, I guess you can include Nat Phillips into this list now.
yeah.
because
okay. Alright.
he's. But I don't know if that's like a planned thing or it was like a forced your hand kind of thing. So yeah, there's those guys.
It's okay. For me, like,
Oh, sorry, I didn't
If-
finish.
if,
The third guy on that list was Rhian Brewster. At the beginning of the season, everyone was saying, "We don't need another striker. We got Rhian Brewster."
and he left on a huge profit.
We can see his struggles
We-
in
we
the Premier League
Liverpool
matches.
has definitely got a lot of profit from there.
15 million is a freaking steal.
Yeah.
At the time, people didn't think it was a steal. They thought it was it was Sheffield who got a steal. But over time, Klopp's been proven right. I've been proven right because I honestly didn't feel like he was going to start for Liverpool. I didn't see it. I didn't see him getting enough game time to prove what he needs to prove here. I felt like he should have gone on loan again, I guess, but he wanted to play. He went to Sheffield, and that was the worst place he could have possibly gone.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if he had gone to another club, it'd be different for him, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So as you can see, out of those three, only Curtis Jones has survived, and he's playing games regularly in our midfield.
Yeah.
So
And you know what? If Navigator left and Klopp decided to give a number 8 for Curtis Jones, I would not have any questions about that.
I
No
wouldn't.
doubts.
I wouldn't have.
You
either.
need that confidence from him, even if he's
Yeah.
not playing first team week in week out. Just that number 8.
I'd give him.
on
I'd
his
give him the
back.
number 8 right now if,
Yeah.
if I could. But
Yeah, just giving him that
yeah.
number 8, I think he can carry it, no doubts. A young lad from Liverpool, Scouse, all the access and all, you know. So yeah, him and Trent.
So I do want to highlight a comment that was made recently about him by some people on like the fan forums and comments, and how some people were saying that he has nothing to offer, and week in week out he's beaten by players. I'm sorry, but wasn't anyone watching the football matches where this kid basically drove us forward to winning
Yes,
games
yes.
when in the Champions League against good teams, Atlanta and all these teams? He was a driving force. When the team was decimated and they played Ajax, he was a huge factor there. He's played several matches where he's been key. I don't understand how fans cannot see his talent.
Yeah, I think they just want a world class player. You know, they are these new age legacy fans, not legacy fans or new fans.
Wrong word to
Yeah,
use.
sorry,
Dazlan.
new fans. They only want like the in player right now.
Yeah, the global fan. You mean?
Yeah, those global fans.
Technically, we are global fans.
So okay, yeah.
No,
alright.
but because honestly, I feel like Curtis Jones is the future. Like, there's a lot of things that I really like about Curtis Jones.
Between him and Trent, no doubt.
But I do have to say that I don't think that him alone will help Liverpool next season, because you need a defensive midfielder.
Of course, yes.
Not a defensive, not a DM, but you need a midfielder who can contribute to the pressing game.
Yeah.
And I feel like Curtis still has a way to go before he can contribute in that sense.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, it doesn't matter. It's a team sport. He still has a lot to offer. But okay.
And for me, Curtis Jones would be slotting in whether or not Wijnaldum was here or not.
Yeah.
He was practically doing that when Henderson was injured at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's true.
So, for me, it's a no-brainer, Curtis Jones.
So no doubts. Okay. So that's our view on things.
Yep.
So any words? Any comments?
Again,
Just to finish
here's my preference. Bissouma, Neuhaus. I'm sorry. Houssem Aouar,
Okay.
Neuhaus, then Tielemans.
Okay. For me, it's gonna be Houssem Noah, Bissouma, Neuhaus, and then Tieleman.
Right.
But I wouldn't write Curtis Jones out at all. You know?
No. Like I said, Curtis Jones operates outside of this list.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's already at the club. For
Yes.
me, he can play any game of the week.
Yes.
Like, if you're asking me honestly, if Henderson needs a break, I think Curtis should play.
Yeah, okay.
You know, they should do the rotation thing that they've been doing this season.
Yeah, okay.
Again, when you take out Wijnaldum, you need to bring in a first teamer. You can't just randomly just take Curtis Jones and say you be Gini Wijnaldum. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, okay.
I don't feel like Curtis Jones is the guy who plays the Wijnaldum role. I just think Curtis Jones operates in a bubble that exists for him. Like he should be playing he should be playing anywhere.
Yeah, alright. So okay, that's our opinions. Hopefully you like our show, this reboot show. So okay, any comments about this or any other comments you want us to talk about? Just comment down below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the hill button.
Smash that like button.
Yes.
Press the bell.
The bell button. So okay, this is Just Talk TV, and yeah. So okay, see you guys in the flip side.
See you guys on the flip side.